Hey guys, it's Ellen here, and it's Monday, so we have Mini Monday Madness, and we're continuing our gardening theme with the ink and wash again. And this time we're doing a watering can and some garden boots with some flowers out of it. So, I thought it'd be cute to do and continue the theme so that you could have a coordinating ones. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section. Also, if you're a Patreon member, you can download the Traceable. If you don't know what Patreon is, you can check it out right here. It's a place where you can go and get traceables from my YouTube tutorials, not all of them, but most of them. Ad-free videos and exclusive tutorials on Thursdays. So go check it out. And it's a place people can support my channel, and I appreciate it very much. So if you're not, also if you have not hit the bell notification button, please hit that so you know my tutorial's up. And without further ado, let's get painting. Okay, so I'm going to go over supplies. As you see, I have 2 pieces of 3-inch squares, 100% cotton cold press arch paper. I have my Princeton 8 and 4 long round velvet touch series brushes, paper towel, my palette. I have my paints in here. This is quinachradone magenta, cadmium deep, burnt umber, peacock blue, Prussian blue, crimson over here, and we'll go over them as I use them. I just have this on a piece of cardboard so you can see it better. I mean, if I had it on the white ground, it'd be hard to see. In water jars. If you're a Patreon member, you can download the Traceable. If you're not a Patreon member, I'll just quickly go over how to draw, a watering can and some boots. So the watering can is basically, it's a line that's on a diagonal here, and then here, and then you're connecting them, and then you're going to go here again, and here. Then you do like a happy smiley face, and then do like an oval. And then for the handle, you're just doing that half circle. Same thing here. And then you can make the little lines and whatnot. And then in front of it, it will have the seed packets. So just squares and a smaller square inside. And we just put a little tomato or whatever you want to put in there, flowers. It doesn't have to be vegetables. And then for the glove, I just have a couple of lines like this, and then just go like that. Wiggle, 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 glove. And then the grass. And then for the boot one, line like this. Then you're going to go down and curve, and then curve down. Kind of like, maybe that's a little bit rounded here, but kind of like that. Just little work boots, nothing special. You can go online and look at some hunter boots. That might help you. Maybe go in a little bit more. And then we're just going to do some flowers. See, some oval sunflowers, some tulips, which is basically a U, and little lines like this. You could do daisies if you want. You don't have to do tulips. I just drew in a bunch of flowers. They don't have to be perfect, a little loose, and then just grass. There you go. So, like I said, we have the, and then I just traced them on here. So people don't know, some people don't realize how to trace. You just take a piece of graphite paper and then trace on top of that, and it comes down on here. If you don't have graphite paper, you can just take a number 2 pencil and go across the whole back of the drawing like this, and then flip it over and then trace it that way. Or you can use a light box, whatever works for you. Also, I forgot to mention that we're going to be using the ink pen. I'm going to use a Sharpie because I like the thickness of it, because we're going to continue the series like we did last week with these little guys that were kind of fun. Let's do a couple more, so then you have like a set of 4 for the for the little minis. And basically I just drew it in. So I'll draw in the actual for this one. I'm going to draw in the seed packets first, because they're going to go over the watering can. I did like a little teeny tomato and little peas. You don't have to do tomatoes and peas. You can do flowers. You can do whatever you want. So basically you're just going to take that sketch you did, and you're going to go over with, your pen. So it's like an ink and wash. Later on we can go over it again with a calligraphy kind of nub pen if you want to. And it's great on this paper is that it's a rough kind of paper, so it has like this nice texture to it. See, I'm just kind of throwing all that in, and I did a little couple of details. I did this line going across on a curve, and a little bit here, and do little circles. Don't have to get too technical about everything. Same thing with the boots. You know, you might want to draw in your leaves coming first, coming over the boot, and then you can do the boot. I had a little bit, there we go. I kind of like the roughness of this paper. If you have smooth paper, use the smooth paper. See, I'm just going like that. This is an exercise in just kind of like being loose and free. Now I did some kind of sunflowers in here. They're not really spring flowers. They're summer flowers, but I put like a poppy over here too. And I've got some tulips like I showed you. Just see how simply I'm just throwing these flowers in quickly. They're not perfect. We don't need to have perfect flowers. But it's just nice to put them in loosely, because then you have that nice look to it. And I'll put another one down here. When you go to put the greens in, you'll just play around with that. I could put a little stem here that I didn't have in the sketch. And maybe a little one out here. Just adding a little spray. And then I had some detail, little dash lines coming down here, like stitched lines. And in the bottom, I can do one over here. See? And once you draw everything in, I take my little kneaded eraser and I just go in and erase all the pencil marks, because you don't want to see them. You just want to see the pen and ink. See, and then you can see where you missed drawing. I missed drawing this one right here. You can draw in the words too. I can do tomato, peas. I'm just going to go in there and I'm going to erase all that. And then we're going to have fun just filling it in. This is the fun part. I think I'll make my watering can to kind of coordinate with the wheelbarrow color. I have that Verdier blue. It's hiding over here somewhere. Here we go. Hello. I have a little bit on my palette. I love this blue. I'm a very messy painter. Can you tell? Look how I keep my paints. Not good. Don't do what I do. So I'm just going to grab some water, my Princeton 8. I'm going to get this Verdier blue really loose. If it's too bright, you can add a little color like to it. I might add a teeny bit, see, teeny tip of the burnt umber, and it just dulls it down to like a little bit of blue-gray. And we'll zoom in a little bit. There we go. And I always keep my paper towel close by. I'm going to tap that to get the excess water off. And we're just going to loosely paint in the watering can. Now it could be gray. It could be any color you want, but I want to do a bright color to kind of coordinate with the ones we did last week, like I showed you. It's nice to do some coordinating paintings. And it'd be nice to, I decided to kind of do like a series this month, like of gardening. And then next month I'll figure out another one, because we still have April flowers, April showers bring my flowers. Maybe I'll work on rain stuff. Theme would be good. Instead of doing sporadic, you know, this and that and there, and then of course I'll get into the summer months and we'll do summer stuff, coastal. So I'm going to work on back and forth. The gloves could be any color. I mean, obviously we're going to have grass here, right? So we can just grab some yellow. I make the green and the peacock blue. We'll make a pretty green. You could do 50-50. You know, play around with mixing it. See, I'm mixing like a nice, pretty bright green here. Very watery, so I have to dap it on my paper towel to get that water, excess water off. I first want to just put it in a nice, light, bright green. The gloves I could keep white because they're on the green. And add some like gray tones to them. Obviously, that's a tomato. And these are really tiny I'm painting here. I might grab my 4 because it's a small brush. I have my yellow paint, magenta, And I'll make a nice little red. There, a tomatoey red. I'll just go in here and fill in the tomato. The peas will be green, so I might make a little bit darker green. I'll add some more blue to this green that I have here. A little more yellow. See, get a nice bright green. Just throw in the peas. While this is still a little damp, you can kind of just bleed in some of this green. Get this little teeny brush. You can make some little grasses just by swiping up like that. Now around the packet type of situation, you can make it the color of this vegetable, or you could change it. I think I'll keep it the color of the vegetable is supposed to be. So with the red, I'll just go in here and just kind of fill this in. And I'll probably make the interior a different color. And the green, same thing. Now I think I'm going to make this like a tan or a brown. So the gloves, I'll grab my burnt umber, grab some yellow, a little bit of blue. Ooh. Now it's got this like brown tone, a little more yellow. And I'll water it down and I'll tap it on my paper towel, and then I'll just kind of go in here. Really light. When you use less water, when you use a lot of water and just a little bit of the color, you get this really pale kind of tone. So it's gonna be like kind of brown, tan, kind of like a khaki color. All right, so while those are all drying, we can go back to the watering can, and I'll take that Verdier blue, a little bit of brown. I'm gonna get darker tones here and put them in the little stripe that you saw earlier that I drew. And we're gonna put some shadows in. So get this a little bit darker here on the handle and the inside here. This is a way you do it like wet on dry without having to bleed. So you just kind of put the little dark shadows here. And then I'll put some more blue in here and brighten it up. Kind of put that on the side and down here. So I'm just kind of wiggling it all around here. This is just so much fun. You're just playing around. It's like paint by number, and then you go in and just add this color here. I'm just adding the darker tones up in here and then up in the side. So you get this nice little shadow. You can go a little bit darker too if you want. I'm gonna add a little peacock blue or Prussian blue to that Verdier blue. Get a little bit darker in here on the handle and where it meets the glove. And then I'll put a shadow color right here behind the packet. It's leaving like a shadow. See that? We're supposed to have fun, guys. I feel like I'm going to brighten up a little bit more of the can. Same thing with the grass. You can go back in and add some darker blues and browns to make that green a little bit darker. See, I made it a little bit darker. And you go and swipe up some of those colors. And I'll put some dark green under where the gloves are. And I'll take that brown that I have here. I'm going to grab some, I had some green in there, so I want to balance it by putting some red in there. And again, I'm just going to take a shadow of the darkness in here. Just putting a little slight highlight. The rim of the glove can be any color. Maybe it'll be gray. I'll add a little gray. Just like that. Okay, we're going to let that one sit for a bit. I'm going to switch over to the boots. I want the boots to be kind of like that hunter boots green color. So I have the cadmium yellow deep. I'll add some Prussian blue. A little more Prussian blue. It's like a deep green, those hunter boots. Right? Okay, so I got the green. I'm just going to wash that color in. I'm still using the 4 now. I gotta add more water to this. I'm just gonna loosely, really just paint this fast. Go right in there. And here. Now you didn't have to make them green. You could have made them pink or red, whatever color we want, or blue. But I did green, like the hunter boots, the famous hunter boots. And obviously, since they're green, the greenery here has to be a different color, distinguish it between the two. Right? And then the grass too. So we'll add a little more yellow to the green we have here. Already mixed. Just go in and put some bright yellow, green kind of tones. Grab that peacock blue. Kind of similar to the color we had before here in the grass. So they kind of match. I had to remix mine. I'm just going to really put it in loosely like this. Again, just like we did the first one. See? And we can paint these bright green leaves in here. I'm constantly taking my brush and hitting my paper towel to get off the excess water. So you can start by putting in the greenery here for leaves. And you can go back in and make it darker later. I always like to put a light one in first, just to see what's going where. Now obviously I have my sunflower. I'm gonna lift up this green color here and this red. Too much green in the yellow section. So I have my yellow, again too much green. I'll grab some of my magenta, mix it with some of the yellow, so you got this yellow orange color, and then mix it yellow again. Again, get it light. I'm just gonna put that, it's a little bright, but all the little leaves that are the part that I drew like that were sunflowers. But again, you could have drew some daffodils, and just tulips if you wanted to keep it in the spring kind of theme. I decided to kind of make it like a wildflower kind of situation where it's tulips and sunflowers and whatnot. The tulips could be pink and purple. I'm going to make some flowers pink and red. So I've got that pink from the magenta, just really loose. Put it on some of the tulips. Just really bright pink. I can grab some Verdier blue and turn it into a nice pretty purple, or some peacock blue. Grab some peacock blue. I want a little bit darker. You play around with the purple. Again, dab it in paper towel, and I'll put a little purple ones in here. Pink and purple, because I have the yellow flowers. Over here, like a red poppy. So we can make red with the magenta and the yellow. Pretty little red poppy. Like I said, play around with putting all the colors. You could make them all in the blue tones. I'm mixing it up, making it multicolored. Just like that. And then I've got the leaf coming here. See, I'm adding the dark green now. Just going in here and just kind of putting in some dark green stems. Dark green foliage, just like we did with the wagon. Same premise. Gonna go add this red over here. I want you guys to play around. Obviously the middle of the sunflower, you can add your paints gray, black, dark brown. Go ahead. The color, dark black in that one. That little poppy was still wet, so it got a little muddy. I'll fix it with a paper towel. Paper towels are great to have by. You just can fix that whole color up. And I'll go back in and I'll fix that. I'll wait till it dries. So our boots are dried lighter. We're going to go in and add some darker shadow tones. So I've got the darker green. I make some more Prussian blue, and I'll put some dark green on the back one here because that one's in front of it. So that one's going to be much darker right there in that section. And then you could take that same green, go under here, the rim, get it loose with some more water, and then put it on the side here. And on the bottom. And we maybe get a little more water too, and then go in and add a little more color. We do want it to be like those dark hunter boots. So you might want to get a little bit darker. I'll add a more Prussian blue. See that? And then those light green leaves just really stand out. And I'll get a little bit darker on the bottom too. And darker in here. Look how cute that is. Again, you take the same dark greens, maybe add a little brown or whatever. And you make those little wisps for grass. Coordinate with the grass you did over here. And then it's just tweaking at this point. You're going in and adding some deeper greens in here. You know, so they stand out. If the yellow isn't standing out, make it brighter. I might add little pink blooms going this way. Do what works for you in your colorway. I added too much pink there. It's good to have paper towel close by. As I say all the time. It could save you guys. So that one's a little messy, but that's okay. It's still pretty. I'm just going back into your pinks. And the red part that got messed up with the paint square stuck in there. I'll go back in here and add a darker value. As you can't really tell. Can even add like just black itself. And if you want to make your yellow a little bit brighter, just go back in again and grab some of that cadmium yellow deep. Just go right over that. Listen, you can put whatever you want in here, sprays, whatever colors you want. It's just another exercise in ink and wash. Now you have the two next to each other and you say to yourself, am I happy with it? Do I need more shadows? I might add a little more, I might add some gray tones to this. Gloves. A little bit darker. This one down here in the bottom, that's like underneath the other one. See? And the browns of the grass. Get a little bit darker. Got my yellow and my blue. Just put some sprays. If you want to add little flowers in this one, you can do that. See, that packet looks just really kind of bland. So I'm going to go back in and add a little green shadow. Right like that. I got to fill in the section too that was white. I might just take a little bit gray. And then same with the red part. I'll go back in, get a little darker here. And then the middle, it could be like a pale yellow, ochre kind of color. Might add a little yellow in here just to brighten it up. Yes. And then again with the can, I had that Verdier blue. I'm going to add some Prussian blue, a little of that brown. Just want a deeper color. Again, the shadows. It's just going to liven it up. It's going to give it some life. Right here on the handle. And here. Especially on that little detail. And like I said, if you wanted to add some flowers, you could do that. Oops. So there you go. Another Mini Monday Madness garden series. So that would coordinate nice with the other ones we did last week. Look how cute. Oh, actually, no, you would go like this. If you're going to put, I would buy 4 little frames and you can stick them on a wall, right? But we did these 2 this week and we did these 2 last week. So, you know, play around with adding more shadow. And then, like I said, once it dries, if you wanted to go in with that, I had this, like I did with the other one, fountain ink pen. You don't have to do this. This is just an added thing. I have this little nib here. And I can go back and make sure it's dry though, because if it's wet, it's going to bleed. And you can make little thick and thin lines Just adding like a little bit extra. You know, let me see, it's a little wet. It just changes it a little bit. So it's not this simple thin line. Kind of like the, oh, that was a little bleed, see? We are not perfect. But you work with what you get. Just go in and highlight some of the little things. Just the handle, maybe the little packets a little bit. Maybe some of the part of the glove or some of the grass. Not everything, just a little bit of everything, you know. Maybe some leaves here. I'm trying not to get too much ink on here, so to please. I want you guys to play around, try it out. Highlight that flower, see? And this little leaf. And then it has like a nice sketchy kind of look to it. So there you go. So thank you guys so much for, see if you can see up close how it's sketchy. Stopping by my channel. I hope you guys enjoyed this mini Monday Madness. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section. Also, don't forget, if you're a Patreon member, you can download the Traceable. And I have exclusive tutorials there on Thursdays and Traceables to go on my YouTube and ad-free videos too. So that's that. Take care, guys. Have a great Monday, and I'll speak to you soon.